What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, podcast 57. I want to welcome Jeff Marlow. You may know him as Top Bun from my videos, and his girlfriend, Anna Shanks, who you may know from... Have you been in my videos?
Yeah, Super Spears. Like one of your very first podcasts when I started working for you.
She was in a podcast way back when, somewhere between podcast 1 and 56, which are the previous 56 podcasts, which... cover everything.
Number 6 or something.
Okay, number 6. She was in there. Now we have Jimbo, also from Jimbo's channel. You may know him from such stupid things as driving on flat tires and doing many other silly things.
Losing Jeff's toolbox in Daytona.
Losing Jeff's toolbox in Daytona.
You had to get it in there. You had to.
Well, I mean, you think that's the first time in this podcast it's going to be brought up. But anyway, guys,
in there somewhere, you know.
Jeff is a let's call you a mechanic by trade. Is that fair?
I guess.
Yeah, Jeff is a mechanic by fabricator, mechanic by trade. He is a manager of a professional Formula Drift team.
X.
I
didn't do it this year.
You didn't do it at all this year?
No, I kind of just managed from the phone.
But you still managed. But
yeah,
he has managed Formula Drift teams for people such as Jeff Jones. So
some Pro-Am stuff out there too. But
so he will know all the car stuff. He has tinkered with my Corvette. He has tinkered with my Supra. He has planned to tinker with other cars, but has never gotten around to it. So... we have that. Anna has much experience in the car world, having rented a Z06 from Gotham Dream Cars.
That is like a long time ago. That was how we met.
See, can I tell you something? You see the microphone on your tits there? You got to pick it up to your mouth because that's where the audio comes from.
That is a lot better.
It is a lot better, right? Like
that's
that.
when we met.
If
that doesn't mean that's where I started my car adventures. That's
okay,
just where we met.
Okay, let's for the curious 7, why don't you tell them where you started with your car adventures?
Oh, in
you got plenty of wine.
Ocean City, Maryland.
It's not wine, Jimbo. If it was wine, we wouldn't be able to monetize this. So it is just grape juice in a wine glass.
Yep.
Well, no, I didn't say what kind of wine it was. There's a certain kind of wine that is grape juice.
Grape juice, Jimbo. Just let's leave it at that. All right, so Anna, tell us please about your car adventures. Introduce yourself and let the audience know all about your car background.
How I got into cars and when I really became a part of the car community.
That was such a setup right there. I put you up on a tee, and all you had to do was swing the club, and you came back with a question.
So I got heavily involved into the car community when I was 18, when I finished up high school. I was hanging out in Ocean City, Maryland, and I was just walking around, and then I ended up seeing a Lamborghini and went over and said hi, and he said hop in the car and jumped in a Lamborghini with a stranger and went for a ride.
What type of Lamborghini was it?
It was a Huracan.
It wasn't a Huracan.
It was a Huracan.
What year was it?
I think it was 2009, 2008.
They didn't make Huracans in 2009.
2010?
Jesus Christmas. That's
I
why.
don't
It was like a guy.
That's why, as a dude, all
Sure.
you have to do is buy a Lamborghini, any Lamborghini, and it works.
doesn't matter
Just
what it
the
is.
same.
It could be a
Because
2006.
she jumped in a pre-production, pre-prototype Lamborghini Huracan, which, as we
So
like to
then
call
tell
them,
me.
Gallardos.
So it was a Gallardo?
It was a Gallardo.
when you do the
Okay.
dream drive.
Was it a convertible or a coupe?
It was a coupe. It wasn't convertible.
Oh, so this was really... I mean, it could have been an 04 Gallardo in 09, which was a $70,000 car. But it impressed her, and it got her into cars. Is that what got you into cars?
Yeah, and then I had a friend who had a Lotus Exige, and that's when I really got into the car community.
Okay.
Yeah, went to a bunch of events. He let me drive in. That's like when I fell in love with like driving.
The Lotus
cars.
Exige. Now, for the record,
Mhm.
you have blonde hair.
Mhm. Yes.
You have a
I do
vagina,
have-
and you can drive stick.
I know it helps.
So that doesn't happen very often. I know a bunch of guys who have vaginas that drive stick very poorly, but driving stick, and I don't know if it should be a requirement, but it's definitely a plus if you're a car person. If you're a car person, you're like, dude, I'm a car dude, but you can't drive stick.
Yeah, it's not impressive.
Wait, your car's automatic?
Yeah,
it's not impressive.
yeah, like I got an automatic Integra. Like, all right,
Oh.
cool. Like, nice underglows. But, like, at a certain point in time, I think to be a car person, you have to have, and I feel like driving stick is like just it's a must for a car person.
Yeah, but you need to know how to do
Yes.
it. Like for me, it doesn't impress. If you can't drive a manual, you're losing
Well,
points.
I mean,
No
I
brownie
did a
points.
video on this and like 7 people saw it, but there was a video about like what makes somebody a car person. And my contention was like, if you call yourself a car guy, you're essentially saying like I'm an expert. So what you're saying is like, if you're like my neighbor Jim, he's a car guy, he'll answer your question. If you don't know shit, you're not really a car guy. So you need some basic credentials. You've now become an expert when you're like a quote an air quote car person. So people are going to come to you for advice, and if you're making everything up, that doesn't help the world.
I don't think you need to be a genius.
I'm
but
not
if they
saying
just,
a
like, at least be
genius,
able to
like-
point you in the right direction.
Yeah, but like
Like if someone says what's a good first car, you don't tell them, like an S65.
yeah, no, it's not even that. But you need to know like why a car shifts gears. Like,
okay,
I mean,
but,
we're
like, people
talking
aren't
really
going to-
basic shit here.
Yeah, no, I know. What
There's
you
a
mean.
difference between like a car enthusiast will say, like someone that's like into cars, and then we're like they'll tell you every spec about a car, but they wouldn't even know how to change a tire. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to have a basic level of knowledge to be a car guy. As a car girl, like to be a car girl, you have to have that same knowledge or at least that basic level of knowledge. Or if you're a girl that just likes cars, like, oh yeah, no, I like cars. Then nobody's asking you for advice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you like cars? That's cool. Like, and you're not saying what oil should I put in my car? Like, but if you're like, oh yeah, my neighbor's a car guy, he'll help you out. Yeah, what should I get? Should I get this or this? Oh, definitely get that. He has no idea what he's saying. It just sounds cooler at the time.
It sounds like you're confusing with mechanic or
No,
somebody who, like,
definitely
works
not
on
mechanic.
cars.
I am talking about to call yourself in anything. Like to call yourself like I'm a medical enthusiast.
Okay, well, it's,
Nobody's
God.
asking
Nobody
you
fucking
for advice.
says
that,
But if you're like,
They're in your
yeah, I'm a
hands.
doctor, like I'm gonna ask you a question. Like, yo,
No.
what's this rash? Should I go get it checked out? And what? Has that
Uh-huh.
not ever happened to all of you guys?
Well, I wouldn't come to you for advice. Not
Rob
for
Well,
probably the
if
best
you
person
thought
to
I was
do
a
for-
doctor,
I'd end up dying.
Wait,
if you thought I was a doctor, the problem with me being a doctor, a woman comes to me for advice. I'm like, yo, all right, take that off. And,
that's the first thing Rob would say.
yeah,
I'm a doctor as far
turn
as
your
you know.
head and cough. But that's how I met Jeff, by the way.
Oh,
And the good news is he does have AIDS.
Well, that's a
great.
known fact.
Yeah, but the other ones he's clear. So,
Oh,
but we solved the headache problem. But ultimately, like to be, like to call yourself a something, to like an expert or like something that you're an enthusiast or knowledgeable in a field, that would be a perfect time for somebody who is not knowledgeable to come ask that person for, let's just say, professional advice. And even as not like, I know you're not a mechanic, but you are a car guy, so you've bought 10 cars, you've serviced cars for years,
Sure.
you've got a knowledge that I know that I don't have because I'm not familiar with it. So to call yourself a car guy or car girl, you expect some basic level of knowledge as to like how to, like, I mean, where does it start? How to change a tire, why a car shifts gears, like stuff that this is like incredibly basic. What the 710 fluid is all like very important stuff. Right now, Jimbo's like, what the fuck is
That's exactly what I was
710
thinking. I
fluid?
was actually going to say it. I was like, what the fuck is 710 fluid? I don't know what it is.
We should just make him Google everything.
Google 710 fluid, Jimbo.
I mean,
Why
Anna,
don't
do
you
you know what
just educate
710
him?
fluid is?
Heard of it?
Oh,
She's lying.
Lying through your teeth.
Why don't you explain it then? Educate me.
Jeff is
We're
trying to
about the
bail her
same
out.
age. Why don't you
If-
just educate
No, I
us?
wasn't.
If you
Rather than
read
trying to
if
dig
you
the hole
read the
deeper.
oil cap upside down, it says 710. Instead of OIL, it's 710.
Really?
So
Yeah.
that's
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 I've
how
never
dumb
looked
it
at
is.
it that way.
Yeah, I know you've never looked
That's
at it.
really
that way.
stupid,
Like
Rob.
it's very dumb, but like
That's
it's
like beyond stupid. That's like a joke you tell somebody.
it's the meme. It's
Hey.
the dad joke of cars.
I don't know
That
about
explains
It's
a
it's
lot.
the blinker fluid and muffler bearings of cars.
Okay, that I agree.
And you
with.
can order a flux capacitor off AutoZone.
When this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
That was us on the $500.
I think
challenge,
most
dude.
legitimate car people or like car dudes or you need to like own like more than one vehicle or have owned one more than vehicle, and you've like done work to it because you
like
never
at
know
least
what's gonna happen.
change your own oil. Like do something so basic that like to be a car enthusiast, like you have to have experienced multiple cars. You can't just like, yeah, I'm 22 years old. I bought a
I've owned a
Civic
Corvette.
Type R since I was 17. That makes me an enthusiast.
You can be a car person. I mean, you can say you're into cars, or because people define car person as a different thing. Like there's not one definition for a car guy. I think there are things people should know.
Well, a car
like
guy
what
has a penis. A car girl has a vagina.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
car
yeah,
person
okay,
is
sure.
like indifferent.
I know, but when someone, for instance, like I would call myself when I was 18 years old, which was, as of virtually yesterday, I'd call myself a car person, even though I don't know jack shit about cars. I just know about stuff with cars, So
But
I call
wait,
but I don't know.
no.
Wait.
Listen,
Hey,
you ready? We're gonna cut
okay.
you off because I'm
You
gonna
go
start.
first.
Go ahead.
If someone came up to you at 18 years old and asked you a question about, let's say, your shitty C4 Corvette,
Sure.
would you just go off on it and be like, "Oh, it's the best car ever," and tell
would
them
say
all good
I enjoy
and tell
it.
them to buy one?
I would, because I enjoy it.
See, that's
If
the
so,
problem.
Well,
But
there's
that's
no
the
problem
problem.
with that. It's my fucking opinion. I can have an opinion.
But you didn't own anything but a shitty C4 Corvette.
Yeah, so I can say I
you have
enjoyed
no,
my
you
C4.
have no
so I like it.
experience.
But you have no
so The problem
experience.
is
Then
like
explain that to me.
Well, no, if
Why
somebody
did I
says
have,
go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean
why
to
did
cut you
I
off.
have such a horrible experience with my first car and I fucking hated it? It was a bitch
why do you hate your first car?
because it was constantly overheating or
Because she
breaking
had a
down.
DS.
All right, well,
was
now,
like-
okay,
There we
perfect.
go.
Now,
we now understand the
now,
problem.
now you have a car. Okay, this is the
was my
perfect
only
example.
car.
You're a young girl. You don't know why your car is acting the way it is. You go to a guy like Jim who has a Corvette, and you say, "Jim, my
Help
car is
me."
overheating. Help me. I'm a helpless woman."
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
you
would
know
help her.
what?
I'd get her a
No,
fucking
you know
tow
what?
because I don't know how to fix
You know
her
what
car.
happened? I went through.
And that doesn't make you a car guy. That's what.
Well, why does that define
That's
what a
what
car
that's
guy
what my
is? Why do I
grandma
need
would
to-
do. She would call
You're-
AAA.
You're
You're a
mechanic.
car
Why-
enthusiast.
Sure, okay, car enthusiast.
You like
fine.
cars, and you know that your
A
Corvette
car
had a
enthusiast
5.3
knows more than the
V8 in
specs.
it.
Yeah.
5.7 asshole.
Oh,
See, I
So-
know these things.
see, I don't even know these things.
The issue that
I know a hell of a lot
constantly-
more
I know
about
the
cars
fire
than you
engine
do.
on a
I'm sure you do.
Corvette.
The issue I
Oh, look, a
constantly
pen.
was running into was, yeah, I can help you fix your car. And it's then we were looking at it, and they'd be like, oh, your fan's not running all the time. Your
Well,
car's
you
overheating
know
that
what? Let's
way,"
put
or
it
like-
this way: you're sitting on the side of the road, right? You got a flat tire. You want a car enthusiast to come by because a car enthusiast can be like, "Let me help you out with that." If you
flat
just
tire.
like cars, you're just gonna be like, "Fuck, looks like your tire's flat." But if you're a car
But that's not
enthusiast,
everyone that
you're
likes
you're
cars,
like,
though, dude.
let me check the trunk. Let's see if you have a jack or a spare. Okay, great. You have a jack or a spare. Let's go in there. Let's jack up your car. We'll put your spare tire on. This tire should not exceed 55 miles an hour. It's probably pretty old because it's an old car, but it'll get you to a gas station. It'll get you to a service station where you can get a replacement tire for your car. They can mount and balance. It's a standard size. They'll take care of you, and you'll be back on your way. Instead, you get Jimbo, who gets a flat tire.
Dude, I could fucking change a flat tire. I didn't do it in the video I made.
You in
But-
your own video, you didn't change your
In
own
his
flat
own
tire.
video.
Well, I
Yeah.
eventually
That just makes
did.
you.
Can I
eventually did.
summarize? Let me narrate the video. All
You
right,
don't
so,
need to narrate the video. It's such a stupid, embarrassing video. It's
well, that's
very-
why it's fun.
But
to
yeah, it's
narrate.
on
I
the
private-
internet, sir. Everyone can watch it.
Did
if
you
they
private
want.
it?
I privated the video.
Oh,
So car guy Jimbo over here, and I'm only gonna bring it
It
up.
did
and-
so
and I'm
bad
not
that he
gonna-
took it off
I'm
the
not
No,
internet.
gonna
it actually
prompt you-
did quite well. That's the funny
I'm
part.
not going to prompt you to go look at it, but Jimbo had a naive mistake. He was new to the car, not new to the car scene, but he's new to
New Jersey shitty roads.
solving problems. He got
Solving problems. That's the right one.
he got no. I'm trying to be diplomatic about it. He got a flat tire in his Mercedes, and it was literally 3 blocks away from the house. Driving along, got a flat tire, turned around, went back to the house. I don't blame him for that. That's like, who calls a tow truck to be like, hey, you got to bring me over to that driveway? Like, that's not what you do. But then he's like, he found a tire place, which was like 9 miles away. And he's like, all right, I could probably just drive there. So, like, what I would have done is I would have taken the wheel and tire off, brought it to the tire place, had him mount it, and bring it back and put it back on the car. Jimbo didn't do that. He like first thing you do when you get a flat tire, you check the trunk or you check for a spare, fix a flat. Depends on the car. They've got different ways to address a flat tire. Some of them have a jack and the spare tire. Some of them can fix a flat, which does Like I've never been inspired confidently that I can't fix a flat.
To clarify, I know this now.
He now knows this.
Now,
But
now.
look, there's a lot. There's a lot
really
of things
trial
I
and
know. Like
error.
chicks in Thailand may not be as hot as you think they are,
And they also
because
might
they
have
may
an
have
extra-
penises. Like there's a lot of things that you know
That just
now that
really
that
an
would have been much
extreme.
helpful to know then. And I've never been to Thailand, by the way.
I think he's lying.
I am.
I think he's
I mean,
lying.
it's live and learn,
blocking it
dude.
out.
I mean, I've made plenty of fucking mistakes.
Essentially, Jim decided that it would be a prudent idea to drive from the house to a tire station, which was only 9 miles away.
The GPS said 15 minutes.
The
so I
GPS said
figured-
15 minutes with 4 tires. You had 3.
I know.
So
it got
so
worse and worse.
It got
The
worse and worse.
idea
Did you
made
get
less
more?
and
Did
less
you get more
sense.
than a mile away?
I think I got how far? Fuck. I think I got.
You were
2.5 miles.
Northvale? No, you were in.
It was. I had to make a left. Towards our Wells Fargo and towards the little complex where there's like a Bear Burger.
Okay,
and
so
stuff
yeah,
like that.
you
He
were
didn't make it
were
very
not
far.
anywhere
No, not
near.
at all. Zero.
So
Like,
so he didn't
virtually
make it
nothing.
very far. And then at the point in time where Jimbo decided it was a good idea to drive a 20-minute drive with a flat tire, which becomes a hour at the best. If you're thumping along on the road
Oh, it was terrible.
with a flat tire, you're not going to make it too far. But like eventually he would have been sparking the rim like those people in the police chases in California. But ultimately he decided to go. At that point in time, is that when you figured out that you had a spare tire in the trunk, or
I'm
was
trying
it,
to remember.
or was it after the police officer came and said, "What the f are you doing?"
No. It was I pulled to the side of the road because I wanted to check the wheel because it was thumping the hardest it had been. I was like, okay, this is bad. And I look at it, and I don't know why, but that's when it finally dawned on me. You know, I probably have a fucking spare.
That not the day he got a flat. Not the day he's like, okay, how am I going to get this car? And I had my truck in the driveway, didn't I? My car hauler.
I don't. You might have.
So
could've
so
fucking
we
done
had a car hauler in the driveway. We could have pulled it on the car hauler and got it into the place.
There's a lot wrong here.
There's a lot.
There was a lot wrong.
So the guy with the tow truck next to his car with a flat tire, instead of removing the tire, instead of replacing the tire with the spare that's in the trunk, and instead of loading it up into a car carrier, he decided my best option here is to try to drive it 9 miles.
I was also, to be fair, I was also hamming enough because I was making a video, so I was trying to make it entertaining. I wasn't thinking like problem solving. Like I was thinking about making an entertaining video at the same time. Like that doesn't excuse any of it. It was so fucking retarded, but that's what I was.
I'm gonna make a
about.
video today because my car's got a flat tire. I'm just gonna try and drive it to the tire place with a flat tire because that's a great idea.
To be
I'm
honest with you,
going
that's
to
what was
set
going
my
through
car
my
on
head.
fire to make an entertaining video, and I'm going to try to put it out with a can of Doc X and some spit.
And that sounds like something you would do.
Depends on the car.
Yep. See.
We did
You
that with the
have
Camaro.
No room to talk.
Yeah,
I hope it was a V6 Camaro.
we did. We
Yeah, I know it deserved to be set on fire.
This is a proper Camaro. Did you see it? I don't know if you did.
What?
So
we fucked that
I bought a V6 Camaro in Texas.
Yeah, I saw you mudding it and
Oh, yeah.
yada yada.
Yeah. I mudded it. That's
Jim's
right.
got to finish the video still, right?
Here, tell you what. Let's do this, Rob. Instead of blocking the camera, I'll just pull it up on screen. For
No,
you.
I'm gonna. Oh, you're gonna pull it up on
I
screen?
can
Go
I
ahead.
can put it up on screen for you.
Let me show.
Actually, I probably shouldn't because it'll fuck the computer. So turn it to the camera. Can we turn it to
Hold
the
on.
camera?
He's trying to find
I'm
it.
trying to find it in between all.
To
the,
give context to those who are just listening, this was on our $500 car challenge when we were out in Texas. Yeah, we blew it up big time. Well, Hennessy actually blew it up.
well, you can't. You just gave the reveal.
No, I mean people knew it fucking blew up.
Yeah, Tommy blew that stuff up.
So we had this Camaro, and we decided to like cut the top off because the goal here.
Well, now
Was-
you are revealing it. Now
No.
you're
But
giving
what I
behind the
wanted to
scenes
do is we wanted to like blow the roof off, and then I'll drive my convertible Camaro over to CarMax and sell it. Right. So we like cut the B pillars, we cut the roof line, and then we put 15 pounds of tannerite in it.
And now you're blowing it up?
And I think we may have slightly misjudged the tannerite. Now, to be fair, the guy who packed the tannerite said, "Was anyone hurt?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "Well, then we didn't use enough," and that's very Texas of him. But
You know what
ultimately,
he said, by the way, later too, like when we were walking, because Tommy did a burnout and blew his tire up. He's like, "Dude, that was dangerous."
Yeah.
He
But
just said,
so like
that was dangerous.
here's the boom. You
So-
hear the parts flying past us. Now we were about 100 yards away, and it was at least another. I would
Video's
say
coming soon.
I would say another 100+ yards behind us, like past us, that we found like the window frame, like the metal frame, like you're not talking like,
Yeah,
oh, look at
little
this little
pieces.
like fiberglass piece that flew by us. Like we're talking legitimate pieces of the vehicle that
Could have
like
fucked your day up real
that-
good.
But like to be fair, I saw it blow up and I'm like, wow, that's much bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Even where we were standing, I'm like, we're such pussies. We should be so much closer. Like we're gonna get shit footage. And then watching the car explode, I'm like, well, I didn't expect that. And then like,
And now here's the thing. Now you're bashing on him for his choices.
no, this was a great choice. I'm very happy. I would do this over and over again. And so we're here staring, and I'm like, the car blows up, right? Like big cloud of smoke, fire.
This was solely entertainment.
Yeah,
Like,
very very entertaining. And
phenomenal video.
and then the next thing I know is like, oh shit, there's stuff flying at us.
Like you're looking at the little viewfinder of the camera, and you're like, "Oh,
No,
that's a great
and-
shot."
and
And you're like, "Oh fuck, there's
here's
shit coming
where-
towards me."
Here is where like you can avoid it, because it's not like a bullet coming at the speed of sound that you can't avoid it. You're watching it come at you. Imagine somebody throws something at you from 100 yards away. You're like you could even be like a sloth, be like, I'm gonna move out of the way. So I mean, unless it's with such sheer volume that you're gonna get hit no matter where you go, you can cognitively avoid whatever's flying at you, and everyone did. And there was, I would say, 25 people out there watching it.
My camera guy almost got maimed.
Yeah, so the camera guy almost got maimed, but everyone else.
Everyone else was okay.
That's where Jersey ruins all the fun because we just can't blow things up on.
No,
a
no,
weekend.
Texas, and then like, then
Yeah.
then John's like, oh, we should probably go get a fire extinguisher. The car's in flames. So the guy comes with the fire extinguisher. The car's like half engulfed in flames. Like, all right, just leave it there. We'll let it burn out.
Let it burn.
And like literally, not one cop, not one phone call. Nobody gives a flying fuck. We just set a Camaro on fire, burnt it like we melted the wheels to like molten aluminum. And nobody even came by to give it a second look.
Absolutely brilliant.
Did you at least
It's like
clean it up?
there are places
Oh,
in
no,
this
not at all.
world that just scream like, this is where I park my car. And that is Texas. And Texas is just like having John Hennessy stand in the back of a car that I ripped a Chevy tractor, a tracker that I ripped the roof off of when they are 15, shooting some tannerite in a Chevy Camaro, blowing the roof off of it. There is
America.
not much more American than that. And I was sitting there in my cowboy hat with my flask in my pocket.
That you bought at the
And
convenience store
I
5
bought
minutes
it at
prior.
Buc-ee's. All right, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
Dude,
I
you
get
know
bought it
what?
at
Hey,
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's is awesome.
Buc-ee's is the
Yo,
shit.
the beef jerky, their beef
Buc-
jerky
Buc-ee's
selection
jerky's
is
good.
phenomenal.
Oh, the
But-
beef jerky was phenomenal there.
Oh my
I
God.
had
Let's
it.
just
It was
point
great.
out Buc-ee's
beef
did not
jerky,
have
send me some
We need
beef
that
jerky.
plug.
beef
We need
jerky.
Buc-ee's plug.
Send you beef jerky. Is that what you
Buc-ee's, send me some beef jerky.
So Buc-ee's is a gas station in Texas. There's more than one, obviously. They're quite large. You can probably get stuck in that for a week and not die with other
That's
people.
like a
Easy.
Texas Walmart.
No, but
almost.
they
Yeah.
don't sell guns. They don't sell knives.
But
So
they sell
it's-
gun cups.
Yeah, I bought a mug with a gun handle on it, which I didn't want to bring through security, so it's still in my truck. Down
They
in
sell like
Dallas.
camping gear and stuff too, though.
Yeah, but
And,
like I
hunting-
went to buy like
Yeah.
a Texas. I wanted to buy a Texas shirt and a cowboy hat. Like I got the cowboy hat, no boots or anything like that. No big belt buckles. Like I would have been nice to get a big belt buckle. But Texas was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was, despite the popular misconception, people in Texas don't wear cowboy hats, it appears. So I went to a bar in Dallas. My
Oh.
friend invited us,
You were the only motherfucker wearing a
and I
helmet.
was the only motherfucker that looked like I was from Dallas.
That's how they can tell the tourists away from
Well, that's because the Dallas is
locals.
just full of hipsters.
No, like you know what?
That
you
is
think,
true.
So anyway, a funny story.
Calling
that,
you out, Texas.
and I mentioned it on a
I fit in
previous
perfectly in my pink
podcast.
shirt.
I was there and I was talking to the chick that invited us to the bar, and she's like, "Oh, that's Nate Diaz. He's a UFC fighter. He's the guy who beat Conor McGregor, and he's got apparently a thing for her. And here I am wearing a fucking cowboy hat, like just sort of chatting it up with her, with fucking Nate Diaz staring through me, and I'm like I felt like going like full Irish and be like, "What's up, Nate? Like, what are you gonna do? Fuck you, fuck." Like, and it just
He'll fucking like sneeze on you and you'll fall over.
no, but see, the thing is, like, if Nate Diaz like fought me, like that's the problem with being a professional. Like if he was an amateur, if he was a guy who went to a like I go to CrossFit, you can get in a bar fight. Nate Diaz can't.
Yeah,
His hands are weapons.
reputation's
Literally.
shot
His
down.
hands
Anything,
are
boxers,
considered weapons.
UFC
Like
fighters.
it's like that would be like an attempted murder thing or something like that. So honestly, like if there was UFC 550 or something like that, let's just push it way out, and Nate Diaz and say Conor McGregor could get, and even Mayweather could get down to my weight class. I think we could do a tag team. Like,
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's no way I'm going to get to their weight class, but if the three of them could break it down into like Ferretti weight class, like 140, like is that featherweight? Is that like, or is that like a female middleweight? Whatever it is, I think it would be a pretty cool like tag team match, and maybe we'll just go straight WWE. So we can do like a cage match. Yeah, like that. I've always wanted to do like some Undertaker shit off the top of the cage. And I don't know who the teams would be.
Rob wants to relive his early 2000s fantasies.
Well, like Conor McGregor was 12 back then.
Somebody spent too much time watching WWE wrestling.
Yo, that's not for
I don't
nothing.
disagree with
Nick Foley was like
Rob looks like a fan
Mick
of
Foley.
WWE.
You know what? I was for a minute. Like
Oh,
Like,
there's a
that's
hot
what they
minute.
all
There's
say.
a hot minute.
let's just say there was like wrestlers like Papa Shango and Narc and like these other people like Jake the Snake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Bushwhackers, people that others wouldn't have any, and like the people listening that know, like, and luckily my audience is of similar demographics.
They're
as
all
me.
around your age.
So like, fuck yeah, man, I love Jake the Snake. But like Undertaker and everything like that, they remember these people. And Paul Bearer was with the Undertaker.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah, and like most
have no
people
fucking
don't know
clue.
this, but like I do, and it's just like that was wrestling to me. Even Hulk Hogan, that like I want to say it's got to be 90s, like the late 80s into the 90s. That was wrestling to me. After they merged with like the what was it? WWF merged with I forget what it was. The like knockoff wrestling. There was a whole nother thing where not Triple H. It was a Triple H. Bill Goldberg and everything came from. And when they merged is when I sort of lost interest, and that's when it was like, all right, you know what? I'm done with this. But that's wrestling, and I liked wrestling back in the day, and now I know it's fake, so I don't really watch it. But that doesn't mean if UFC 2555 happens and it's Ferretti and Mayweather against McGregor and Diaz,
It's the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
that we're gonna have
There we go.
600
Truth has
pounds
been spoken.
600
for
pounds of
someone to say
men battling it out.
All I know is that Rob just went really off topic and started talking about
Yeah, why are
men
we all
touching
like-
men and stuff like that. we were talking about
we
cars in
went.
America.
We went. I
and-
was looking for a class of fighting that I could compete in, and it's got to be the fake fighting, because like
the only way you'll win.
just fists or boxing, and I get my ass kicked. UFC, I definitely get my ass kicked. But fake fighting, I could definitely throw a fake punch and take a fake hit. So that would be a good time. Anyway, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break. Jimbo has to use the little boys' room and girls' room. He's gonna use all of them. It's a unisex bathroom here at the podcast studio.
Send it.
Sending it.
podcast studio.
But we'll be back in a minute, people, and stay right there. So there's things I do every day. One of those things is putting underwear on. Now, Sheath Underwear helps cover my ass, especially in these podcasts, by sponsoring us. And now they can take care of your ass too. Now, Sheath Underwear is a premium underwear. It's not your dad's tidy whities. It's not your old pair of boxers that you got in high school that you should have thrown away 5 years ago that you still wear. It's good premium underwear. Their thing is that you can put your balls and your shaft into a little pouch in the front. Makes you look huge. Huger. I mean, it's all you, but it looks good. But it also keeps your balls from rubbing against your legs or sweating, and that skin to skin, it's not a good thing. You don't really want it. And it's a good, comfortable underwear. It looks good, it feels good, and it's functional, and it makes your sack not sweat. So that's something to check out. You can check out their website, sheathunderwear.com. You can enter promo code SPEED. That'll save you 25% off your first order. And I promise, once you get Sheath Underwear, you're going to be ordering more and more pairs. So I'd probably get at least 3 to start, because you're not going to want to wear the same pair every 7 days or wash them every other day. It gets a little awkward with underwear. So, man, it's not a pair of jeans. You can't just get away with wearing the same pair of jeans 4 days in a row. Underwear, you can't do that, no matter how much you like them. So check out sheathunderwear.com, and you can use the promo code SPEED and save yourself 25%. I guarantee once you start wearing them, you're not going to wear anything else. I don't. So there's things you never want to do in the car world. You never want to not buy a car because you're afraid of the maintenance costs. And you also don't want to be fearful when you buy a car of driving it because you don't want to break it. Two of those things, it ruins the ownership experience. So how do you fix that? Well, there's a company called eAuto Warranty, and eAuto Warranty will sell you a warranty. You pay monthly just like you would for your car insurance, and it relieves the stress and anxiety of having a big maintenance repair. And that's something, I mean, they cover the smaller stuff too, but obviously that doesn't keep you up at night. The stuff that you're concerned about is a pilot bearing failure or something that everyone talks about as a possibility. And you're like, ooh, I don't want to have to pay for a transmission rebuild on that. Well, eAuto Warranty will cover it. So check it out. You can go to eAutowarranty.com. You can enter your car in. You can get a free online quote, or you can enter a car you're interested in, or like, oh, one of those Maseratis I've always liked. See what it would cost. It may make sense to you. It may not. But it will allow you, if you do go ahead with it, to sleep easy at night. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding here. I had a warranty that I was paying for 4 months, and they covered that means they made $300 off me, and they paid for a $2,400 repair. So it's good. It's nice to have. It's good to have in your back pocket if you ever need it. You don't have to renew it after the first year. You can just do it on a yearly basis. But I'm telling you, once you have it, you're going to love it. And especially when you get your money's worth out of that repair, you're going to be happy you made that choice. So check them out, eAutowarranty.com. You can get a free quote for your vehicle or one that you're interested in purchasing. All right, and we're back. Thank you for that. Thank you for checking out the sponsors. We were recently talking about my potential foray into what is it? That's not even the right word, right?
Professional fake wrestling.
My professional fake wrestling. But Dana White, you're listening. I know you want to see this get into a ring. I get it. I know that it'll really crank up the pay-per-view. But you know what? I mean, I'm game. You can flip a coin as to who's fighting who.
So cars.
Cars.
So
you blew up the Camaro and didn't get the CarMax. That's all I got out of that.
We blew up the Camaro, didn't get the CarMax.
Why don't we talk about the
but you could have made it into
death cart.
The death cart. Well, I mean,
I was gonna phase that in a little bit better, and you just ruined it for me, Jimbo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jimbo with the hard cut.
Yeah, I was going for it with the thing. I was like, oh, you should have made it into a death cart, and then we could start talking about death carts.
Yeah, no, I missed it. I apologize for cutting you off. But yeah, death cart. What we got to say
Let's
about
rewind
death
for a
carts.
second. Yeah, then I blew up the Camaro, and I didn't know what to do with it from there. I was gonna bring it to CarMax.
And then I should have made it into a death cart and actually brought the CarMax.
You know what? Speaking of death carts, Jeff, I'm glad you brought that up. There was a guy. It's an unfortunate story, but there was a guy in Virginia who, and to be fair, like if you're in Virginia, you probably don't want to have anything other than that, like a smart car, because Virginia sucks for speeding tickets. Virginia sucks for virtually everything.
Virginia will kill you with speeding.
Yeah, they're just the worst ever. Like mandatory reckless if you're like 75 miles an hour.
It's
or faster.
85.
Whatever. Who
still
gives a
terrible.
shit? Virginia, if you were a person, I would tell you to suck my dick. But you're not a person. You're just a bunch of people enforcing laws. So everybody that enforces laws in Virginia, at least the speeding laws, everything else I don't care about, all of you highway and state troopers and highway patrol people, you can all suck that dick right there.
See, this is how you get targeted by law enforcement.
In
by the
Virginia,
way.
you're already targeted. I can't drive.
I
to
love the
Virginia without
police.
dealing with you.
Don't pull
Police
me
are
over.
my best friends.
No, Virginia cops, like, because you know what? They know they're fucking you when they're doing it. That's the problem. Like, I got pulled over in Arizona, and I was doing, like, 91 in a who gives a shit. And
I was in the desert. It doesn't count.
that's the whole point. I was going between, like, Sedona and Page, Arizona, which Page, Arizona just happens to be a nothing town in between Sedona and, say, Salt Lake City. So it's nothing out there. And I get pulled over. I'm like, what the fuck are you pulling me over for? He's like, a 91. And I'm like, look, to be honest with me, like, you got, I'm taking the ticket. I'm not trying to talk my way out of it. But is there a better suited place in the country to do 91 miles an hour than, like, right here? There's nothing around. And he was like, well, we had a fatality at 90 last week. And then my response is essentially...
There aren't many places in Virginia. I mean, the only places in Virginia...
How'd we get back to Virginia? We're talking about Arizona right now.
Well, no, I know. I'm talking about just in terms of, like, where to speed. Like, where it's, quote-unquote, okay to speed.
Where can you speed in Virginia?
Well, you can't. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, Virginia, you have no fucking room. Like, if you get pulled over...
All I know is that we went
over
from
85.
death cart talk to speeding in
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah,
Speeding is
but we then we
Rob
didn't even
is
get to
just
finish the
going way
thought.
off
Now
subject.
we're talking about Virginia again.
Well, no, you can talk. You can talk about your fucking Arizona ticket.
Rob was speeding in Arizona, and he's
So-
upset that he
so-
wasn't allowed to speed in Arizona.
Yeah, I felt it was sort of justified because there's nobody around. He's like, well, we had a fatality at 91. And I was like, look, on a straight, flat road, right? It's either the car shouldn't have been doing 90, or maybe you should fix your fucking roads. Because if a car can't drive straight on the road without crashing at 90 miles an hour, you probably got a highway problem that you want to solve.
And going 90 out there, it feels so slow.
I was doing, I mean, I didn't say anything at the time, but I was doing over 120 for a good portion
For the
of time.
longest time.
But when he pulled me over, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, I didn't care. I was passing people as I saw fit. And you're talking about I was in an Alfa Romeo Stelvio, which handles the speed fine. But anyway, speaking of handling the speed fine, the guy in Virginia that modified his car to do like a Leroy inspired. I don't know if you're familiar with
I didn't start with Leroy, though.
Cletus McFarland. He took a car and turned it into a driving roll cage. And it's got this shock value when you're driving it on the road, and it's got this illusion of safety, but he's dead now, so there's no safety in it. And that's what people have to realize. Like, as a YouTuber, you're making content, and you sort of know what you're doing. You're taking calculated risks. You
You're a
got
car
some
guy.
safety equipment. And even Garrett has, Leroy or whatever, Cletus has the factory rollover protection. He's got the factory A pillar, the factory B pillar, and then he cages around it. So it's all really there with the exception of the body panels, which is much different than making trying to make a cart and saying like, well, it's like my own little Leroy.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things I say about that. One is that Garrett's car was built by a professional. Like, end of story.
Not really. Some
I
of
mean,
it
the
was.
roll cage, like that, he didn't do any of that. I mean, the people who weld that up, all the engine work, all that stuff are done by people that know what they're doing. It's not by him in his garage and his vlogs. I know it's not.
And using a Harbor Freight tube bender like
yeah,
I've seen a lot of people
exactly.
do. Don't use those for bending roll cages. It's not the proper thing to do.
Yeah, but like, and that's the other
Jeff
thing.
makes
It's that,
roll cages.
yeah, but
Very good roll cages.
very good roll cages. Contact
Jeff's roll
Jeff.
cage just fucking squeaks in my car.
Because it's tight, and I can't weld the A pillar, the windshield to the bar because it's aluminum.
It's like a tiger, and
But does it work?
I don't know. I haven't
If
fucking
you
rolled
roll,
it
I
over.
hope
if
he
you
doesn't
roll
have to
the
Dude, like
car,
the last thing I'm
if
gonna
you
do is
rolled the
come in for
car-
warranty work on my roll cage. Nobody ever does. It's like, could you put a new body on my shit? My roll cage is
Yeah.
cool.
Rob, if you rolled that car, you could flip it back over and keep driving it. That's
Well,
how
you wouldn't be
his roll
able to see
cages
out of it
work.
though, because the windshield would probably.
You
be
just put
cracked.
windshield in and go again. You're good.
A new one. On you go. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah, but the
Man,
the
this Doc X.
Oh, we're gonna plug this Doc X.
Very
now?
good.
So I'm drinking Doc X right now, who is a sponsor of Jeff Jones and the Formula D team, and I'm trying to put my finger on it as to what the flavor is.
It's in between a
Dr.
Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper cherry, but it's a little bit better.
It's a Dr Pepper.
It's a little bit better.
It is like
I'm
a.
super picky about my soda.
It's
and I
almost like
actually
this.
this.
It tastes. Is it supposed to be an energy drink? Or
Yep.
Yeah, it's an energy
Yep,
soda.
it's an energy soda.
It does have a flat Dr. Pepper taste to it.
A little bit cherry.
It's better
Dr.
than
Pepper,
Coke.
cherry
Yeah, a
Dr.
little
Pepper,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the roll cage thing, the thing that Jeff was mentioning before before you got here that he probably did that himself.
Did
you know,
what?
the welding, not the vet cart, the
You have
Honda
no
cart.
idea if that guy did it himself. He could have brought it to
Jeff showed me some
Jeff
of his
could have
welds. He
done it.
Well,
probably
it
did
could have been
himself.
hacked. I've seen.
Look,
some really
everybody
half-assed
can weld something. I mean, you could bring it to your buddy who welds it, and you spray paint it orange, and it's like, oh, check out my car.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, when I look at that and the pictures you showed me, I mean, it looks like someone did that. You know, that was like a backyard job.
It looked like it was done with a flux core welder, and it wasn't hot enough for sure.
See, there you go.
Oh, snap.
But also, the structure of the cage was not proper, we'll say.
There's a company that does that too, right? Like I think.
I mean,
there's
I'm
a
sure there
company-
is, because it wasn't even like, I won't say Cletus has definitely made it like more popular, but one of the first dudes that really made it like huge now in the U.S. was this dude Mike Perez, and he took his S13.
I
Mike
think they've been doing
Perez.
Hondas
What up,
for a
Mike
while.
Perez?
Mike Perez plug, but he did. But no,
What's
he's one of the
what's
first
his
Death Guard.
handle?
He doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Or
Does he have
Instagram?
an Instagram?
Instagram, it's just Mike Perez.
Okay.
Yo, check out Mike Perez on Instagram.
But
and
everyone
you
knows his
check
Death
out.
Cart. It's got the huge, like,
Death
literally
Carts.
machine gun on the passenger side and stuff like that. And
Brilliant.
he was like, yeah, that's the one everyone like kind of followed. That's where the
Knocked
Death Cart
off.
thing
Yeah.
came from.
There
yeah.
are. I know that there's one company. I don't remember the name. But I know Farah did a review on the car, and I remember he was saying it was one of the sketchiest things he ever drove. But
Oh, he's driven a lot of sketchy shit.
Yeah,
Well, there's even like the one company they literally take Miatas. It's like a legitimate. I can't
Sure.
think of the name of the company. You probably know. I don't know.
well, it's not.
The only one that I know is
Uh,
Flying Miata, yeah.
Yeah, but there are
Because
companies that take.
Why would you
yep.
pay attention to Miatas other than...
Exocet or something like that.
Yeah, but they take like Honda, like I don't know if it's the EG hatches or whatever, and they that's all they do. They just turn them into like just exoskeleton cages, but they're built by
Exocet.
Exocet, whatever. I don't know the proper terminology.
That's well, they literally take Miatas and they have like a whole kit they give you, or they do it, whatever.
I'm sure it's fun to drive, but not exactly the safest thing in the world.
Yeah.
No, it's safe if you're like, it's done properly.
Okay, sure.
It's about if it's just done right. I mean, you have real seats in there that actually hold you in the car if something were to happen, not some cheap knockoff seats that probably are gonna break when you flip over or something bad happens, or you
How
don't
did the guy
use fence
die
post
exactly?
tubing.
Well, what was it?
I think he went through the windshield.
Through the windshield.
Well, there was no
the
windshield.
no
but he
windshield.
went
So he just
through-
went through where the
But, like,
windshield
I don't
would
think
be.
the windshield would have really... I don't know. The answer is...
Something happened. The car
died.
is very, very mangled, and
Yeah, look at the car and you'll know how he died.
yeah, something went very, very wrong with everything he did.
Jeff is going to tell us. I want to hear some cool behind-the-scenes Formula D stuff, because Formula D is popular, especially for the audience that I have listening. Give us some of the dirt, like some of the stuff that people wouldn't see on camera or at the events, but is like, oh yeah, this is the real deal.
It's really a community, Jeff. Everybody's
You don't
there
look
for
like a
each
Jeff
other.
to me.
Well,
There's
it
not
doesn't
really that
matter.
much dirt behind it. Everyone's a giant family. Everyone gets
Yeah.
along. Like, everyone's always trying to help each other out. There's nothing like bad that really goes on.
Yeah, there's nobody fighting each other. There's
like,
nobody trying to
street
be better
brawls
than
or
anybody.
anything going on behind the scenes.
Who's like a dick? Who's an asshole? Who's like the nice guy?
Well, Tyler McCory's a dick, but he's not a part of it anymore.
Da-da-da.
Other than that, everyone's like pretty down to earth, though. I mean, they're all cool people.
I've noticed if someone needs help, it's like other teams will reach out and help you.
But what, like Tanner Faust?
Tanner was always cool back in the day.
But is he like superstar? So he doesn't like.
No, he tries to. He sometimes hides like when there's big crowds, but when
What
he's
about Vaughn?
Vaughn's all right.
Jesus
Ken
Christ.
Block. Oh no, he doesn't do Formula
Ken
D.
Block
No,
doesn't
it's
really
just
do
the Gymkhana dude.
He's just coming.
Um,
Everyone is
So
pretty
you
down
got
there.
nothing. No dirt from the guy behind the scene. What everything you wanted to know from behind the curtain of Formula D, and Jeff says there's nothing to know.
Everything's out there. It's the internet. I mean, there's always
everybody
somebody.
has fun.
Well,
At
there
the
is
end
some.
of the day, everybody ends up coming together and just having a good time.
Something you told me was like I always have when I see racing like Formula D and NASCAR and stuff like that, or even road racing, I always assume that there's big money sponsors behind it. And I mentioned to you because I wanted to get into filming it. It was just like, oh, well, who are the people to talk to? And you're like, oh, there's not actually that much money in it at all. Like, there's like no money. It's like everyone's kind of just breaking.
Well, there's no money in anything really. Like anything
mean,
in the
there's
car
no
racing-
money in anything, Rob. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's racing.
In the car world, there's not a lot of money.
It's like a common saying. If you want to be you want to be a race car driver, you become a billionaire, so that way at the end of the day you're only a millionaire. Like that's
Okay.
or whatever it is. How to become a millionaire is first become a billionaire and then start racing, and then you be a millionaire.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I just figured, because I always see all the sponsors everywhere, and you see the coverage, and you see the media that is out there. It's the impression is given that this is a really big thing. There's big money corporate sponsors, all that kind of stuff. But
There's
truth be
definitely,
told,
I mean,
it's just people funding their own deal.
Yeah, I mean, you go like, there's definitely sponsors that help out the teams, and if without those sponsors, the teams wouldn't be able to do the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like comes back to IMSA racing and stuff like that. That's all big money. Most of those top teams, the owners of the team are like driving the cars.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's more and more today. I don't know if it's changed, but the people who are racing are the people that have good money. Like it's not people that are like movie-esque, like, I built my car out of nothing and I beat these people that have millions of dollars. It's the people who have money are racing.
Yeah, I mean, some of the dudes too, like they still build their own cars, but some of the better dudes.
But like say like
But they
Formula,
still-
like the 1,000 horsepower drift cars.
they're all 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
The whole field is nowadays.
It's
They're all.
You can't like compete. I
That's
mean,
so retarded.
nothing's like sub 800. I'll say, but
That's nuts. But
I don't have 1,000 horsepower. I couldn't drift.
I don't know. It's like Pro 2 field is literally like.
did you ever have a
crazy.
Formula D car or drive one or?
I drove Jeff's car.
Okay, and that was fun,
Yeah,
fast,
it's just
ridiculous.
fast. It's a lot of power. It moves very, very
Speaking of
fast.
a lot of power, let's talk to Anna for a minute. Anna, what
Uh-oh.
is what? You have a microphone, so we got to talk to you.
Okay.
All right. Now, what is the fastest car you've been in? You got to talk to the microphone, not the air.
What's the fastest you've gone in a car?
Well, we're getting there.
Fastest I've gone in a car, or the fastest car I've been in?
Fastest car you've been in.
I don't know which one's faster. The Lamborghini Aventador or the McLaren. What is it? The 7.
Okay, so you've been in a lot of cool cars. All right, what's the
7?
fastest you've been in a car?
Fastest I've been in a car. 172.
What car?
That was the Lotus 6 Siege. I went 172, and I was driving. It was
Okay,
on a straightaway.
that answers the next question. They do 172.
I was going 172. It
Jimbo?
was on a straightaway.
Not a clue. What car are we talking about now?
Lotus
Lotus
Exceeds. Google that
Exceed.
shit. I think
I'm sure it does.
Lotuses are generally geared very poorly, so I'm
Well, no, they're
gonna.
just geared
Here's
very
a question:
short, not
how
poor.
fast has
Straight
Rob gone in a car? What's the fastest
That's
you've gone?
actually a good question.
So
You know
my
what? How fast have you gotten in a vehicle?
the fastest I've seen on the speedometer was like 245.
That was Celine, right?
The Celine,
But that's
and
fake.
I say it's probably off by 10%, so maybe 220. I know the gearing in the car was good up to about 250, but I don't. To me, I don't see it. Like it didn't feel like that. I've been I've been over 200 a bunch, like probably more times than I can count. But the Supra, I was at 213 in the standing mile a couple of times in a row. The Ford GT I had up at like 205. I can't even think what other cars, but like I've done significantly faster
There
than
goes my phone.
172. It's all right because she knows about the toolbox. So,
So what were you saying? On
172 in the Lotus Exceeds.
Yeah, I think it was 172.
What's
in
the top
Lotus
speed of the
Exige.
car?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No,
It
that's
says-
not it. That's
okay.
not the Lotus.
Lotus
Exige.
Exige. It says the top speed is 155.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
That one.
This
They're only powered by Toyota Motors.
I got it.
When any Lotus I've ever been in, like shifts, like very short gearing, but
No,
it
it
just
was a
tops out
straightaway.
at like.
Does-
No, I get
Yeah, but
that,
top out.
but
Straightaway.
it tops out very quickly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, we definitely went over, and it had it was modified.
What was modified?
I don't fucking remember.
Oh snap! I don't fucking know. Is that like a flux
it was
capacitor
like 5
or
years
something?
ago, and I only was in the car a few times.
She
before
went
that.
172. Whoop de doo. Why not?
And
I don't know.
Jimbo,
It had
and Jimbo didn't know about
modifications.
the spare.
Yep, Jimbo didn't know
It
about
ha-
the spare.
Don't sass me. It had modifications. I don't know what modifications. I just know that's what happened on the speedometer.
Okay, I'm okay with
Sit
that.
back down so you're back in view of camera, because all we're getting is your neck.
That's fine. You can look at my neck.
Check
Yeah,
out that neck.
From the camera, it looks a little bit more red than it really is.
Yeah.
That's because she's getting heated right now.
Yeah. He's
Testing.
getting all,
Fire.
It's like,
all fired up.
yeah, don't you doubt me. I'm gonna throw my grape juice on your ass. So
It definitely had modifications. I do
Okay.
remember that. I just don't know what was modified.
nice. And now let's talk about your current car,
Cars.
Which one?
the one you're building.
Oh, the
Tell,
one I'm building?
tell me about it.
So, what? February, I decided I wanted to start a project car.
Because
mistake.
that's always a good idea.
Well, I wanted to. My life is like getting to a point where it's like I don't have many activities going on. And
I
like,
wanted to
need
get
do
divorced, so I
something.
went and got married to the wrong woman. It's just something that like everybody says, don't do it. Yeah, I just had to have a project car. Oh.
You know what? It's been a great experience. I
So
bought
far.
a motor.
Yeah, when
that
you're
was-
dating a mechanic, it's a great experience.
Yeah,
when,
it's been an amazing
yeah.
experience so far. I put myself in a position where you barely have done any work.
Oh, no, thank God,
snap.
actually.
You've barely done any work.
All I've done is put your fuel tank in and,
Help me drop the motor in.
yeah.
So-
Help you drop the motor in?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
What's the firing order on your motor?
26 minutes.
No, it was shorter. It was 24 minutes.
Ooh, I was
was
off by 2
24.
minutes.
So I bought a motor and a transmission,
Yeah.
and that was the start of it. And I got it for a very, very good deal. And then after that, I was like, okay, I don't really care when it comes together, but if I find a rolling shell, then I'm gonna buy a rolling shell. And then something popped up on Facebook, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. So now I have a transmission, a motor, and a rolling shell. Kind of, it was like a half-ass rolling shell.
Thank God I have a lot of spare parts. That's all I have to say.
So now it just needs, just a couple things. Like,
Yeah, it's all I need
Everything.
now is a.
Yeah, just everything.
No.
No. All I
How
need is a
close are you to
cable.
driving it?
It needs to be running by May 12th. So
Why? What's May 12th?
I have an event I have to drive at. I'm learning how to drift, so the car needs to be running.
There's an all-girls drift event in Connecticut.
Nice. At
So-
Lime Rock?
No, at Thompson.
Okay, yeah. Anna says she's going to take me drifting, and she wants to.
One day. I'm not gonna take you. Not this first time around.
I'd hope not.
I'll make you scream like a little girl.
I probably will. That's what men usually do before they die. And yeah, I'm happy to scream like a little girl to express the fact that I'm about to lose my life.
Well, all it needs is a throttle cable and a radiator, and hopefully, I know the radiator is on the way, and hopefully a cable comes up within the next couple of days.
According to UPS, it'll be here Saturday. It was on
Saturday
back
now?
order.
Oh, then,
Oh.
yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get that in like a week.
Yeah,
It was on
UPS
back
is
order.
good.
No, it's
Be
off.
like
It's off back order.
Thursday.
It's coming from the other side of the country now.
Lovely.
Okay, well, anyways, the car will be together before May 12th, and it's been slowly coming together. Like, I don't know, we got the whole front end. People have been so generously just, like, helping me out, giving me parts pretty much.
That's what happens when you have breasts, because like
Very-
I don't
I
have
wasn't gonna
breasts,
say
and
it.
I don't get things for free. I mean, I get things for free, but I have like
It's not free. I'm still
600,000
paying
followers.
for things. It's just very nice discounts.
No, I know it's bullshit. Like as a guy, I'm offended by the
Who was that
very
girl
notion
we met at
that
SEMA that was like that? She would just badger companies. She's very nice, but
no,
she would just be
the
giving
like
parts.
I think her
Badger
name was
companies.
Elizabeth from like something garage in Texas. The blonde,
Yeah.
the blonde,
She's
the
from
Venetian.
California, though.
I thought she was from Texas.
Well, she might have originally been from Texas.
No,
but
I
she
think
lives in
she
California.
lives in Texas.
Oh, we should have gone visit her then.
Sure.
Sure.
No, she's nice. I like her.
But there's
Yeah,
a lot
I was
of,
busy buying and blowing up a Camaro. I don't have time to
You
go
wasn't
visit
focused on
fucking
some
people with
shit.
We
YouTube
should have
channels.
invited her.
Sure.
there's definitely a lot of girls out there who get parts and hooked up.
Yeah, girls like
don't really
all you have
drive.
to do as a girl in the car world is have like 3,000 Instagram followers in the
I don't
car,
even
and then you
And a
get
pair
shit
of
for
tits.
free. Yeah.
I don't even have that.
What?
3,000 followers.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're getting there.
You just need to post some pictures of working, with just
Yeah,
just the straps on,
rub some dirt on your face and get under the car and pretend like you're wrenching in a tank top, and next
The
thing
car's
you know,
been
you
e-
got 10
the
down.
car's been on assembly
Hashtag
mode
built
for
not
a
bought.
month.
Just add that in there.
No. That's the other thing. I've been putting the car together myself. The only thing I really needed help with was the gas tank, and that's.
I refuse to work
And
on it.
anything over
What about
50
the
foot-pounds of torque.
wiring and instrument cluster?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
she's
the
doing
motor.
all that stuff is
But
already
I've
there. It's all
even-
stock
Oh, okay.
stuff, so it's really just like plug and play.
I
Oh,
think
I
the,
see.
the
We're just
only
putting
thing I
a-
actually really
It
struggled
was a
with.
single cam car, and we're just putting a dual cam
What was
in.
I struggling with?
The torquing down the 80 foot-pounds of torque thing.
Is the suspension, the coilovers? What?
Oh, the steering wheel.
the drive shaft.
Yeah, I was using my knees to
I
put
should
it
like
in,
send you that
and
clip because
my
I have it because
knees-
she was trying to push the drive shaft in and
and
she's
I was
holding with her
using my
knees,
because
but
I'm weak.
her knees were
I'm
holding
so
it from
weak.
going in because I went
So
to
kept
help her
pulling
and I
it
tried
out
to
with
push
my
it in.
knees.
Oh, no.
I was pulling it
All
out
the
with my
guys right
knees.
now that are listening on the podcast, like, she had a shaft between her knees.
Oh, those jokes are in the. I'm gonna send you the video so you can add it.
Jimbo's going to upload the video.
But like
with
that
this.
was probably
Yeah.
my first mistake. I was using my knees to put like a piece in that I should have been only using my arms. And then the other mistake was I changed the coilovers, and then I lowered the car, and I didn't know the process of lowering a car properly, and I almost cracked my gas tank.
Okay, at least you didn't crack
How
your
did you get it up
like,
there then?
skull.
I had it up on
When the car
Jack
wait,
stands.
I'm gonna wait. Hang on, I'm gonna school Jimbo on this too. So car had stock suspension, right, Jimbo?
Sure.
We're putting coilovers on. What
it's
does it
high.
do? It lowers
looks
the
like
car.
Your car's like
Yeah.
So what happened
it
is
has
that
one, like,
she
a-
had the car really high up in the air on jack stand so we could get underneath
I know,
it.
but I'm asking if you didn't know how to lower it properly, then how did you get it up properly? You
You're
know how to
not-
lift
No.
the car properly?
No.
I had different so my car was really high up with the
Stock suspension.
original
Okay.
stock suspension. Like it was high. It looked literally, you know how a cat looks like when it's like arching its back?
Yeah.
That's
No, I know
what the
you
car reminded me of. And then when I put the new coilovers on it, they were very low. Like I didn't know how low the car was going to be, and I lowered the car. And when I lowered the car, I lowered the back first.
Hella flush.
And
Oh, I
I
see.
like
I get.
crushed the gas tank, and I was like, I screamed for Jeff, and I'm like, I can't move. I
So you had to
can't do
jack
anything.
the car back
I can't
up.
do anything. And
Yep.
he's like, well, jack it back up. I'm like, I can't. Like, it's crushing the jack. And he comes over
I
and he
see.
fixes it. And he's like, you possibly cracked your gas tank. And I'm like, I hope not. And then he, like, showed me what to do. But that's, like, such a rookie mistake. And I admit to it. But it's a learning curve. I've never worked on a car. This is my very first car. So at least I didn't
At least
crack
you're
it.
trying. You should be documenting it for your YouTube channel.
That you don't have.
Yet.
Yet.
But as a chick, it's very easy to get likes and follows on YouTube and Instagram with a car.
Look at Rob Dom's girlfriend.
Don't look at me.
Erica Shull, yeah. Eric, if you haven't
Doesn't she have
seen-
like 100,000 followers at this
Does
point?
she really?
I don't know if she does. I thought you might know.
I have no idea.
And it
But
annoys me.
Erica Shull
What's YouTube?
is just Rob
Really?
Dumb's Rob Dumb's
Nice.
girlfriend. And to be fair, she's a sweetheart. Like, she's a very nice girl.
I'm sure she is.
And she has a
That Rob guy,
Challenger
though.
or Hellcat or something like that. And
I didn't even say
she,
what kind of car I have.
what, you have a 240.
Did we say that?
Mhm.
I feel like we said that, right?
We said it, I think, before we went live. She has a 240.
Yeah, that's
So,
my
S13
project car.
hatch.
Ooh.
Oh.
S13 hatches are
It's
cool.
cute. It's cute. It's pain in the ass low though. It's not
It's not
going
that
any,
low.
It's not going any lower.
Until just sparks are flying everywhere. It's not low enough.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen at the height it is now.
Phenomenal.
It's not that low.
Jeff's like, unless your bumper gets ripped off as soon as you go over a pothole, it's not low.
I'm not that low though, but her car's not that low either, and I'm more function over form kind of guy. So my car just is about working good, not
I see.
scraping the ground.
Speaking of function over form, my Supra, Tommy has it. And we were going to bring it out to Pocono this past weekend.
That segue made no sense.
Oh, you would have had so much fun if you would have came on the other side of Poconos.
What's the other side of
They
Poconos?
had the drifting events going on.
Yeah, I was racing.
If I was
my
there, he
488.
probably
We
would have
gotta
came
we gotta
over,
teach him how to drift.
Since I wasn't there, he didn't
One of the
come over.
future YouTube videos is gonna be Rob learning how to drift.
If I'm going to learn how to drift, I want to learn how to drift from...
I'll give you my car once I learn. I'll give you my car.
Well, I've
You
got
can
people that want me to build a 240, so maybe I'll just build yours
It's already
and say
built.
it's mine. What's
How
that?
about we just start over and give you a new one and help
No,
you build it?
yours is going to break in a minute.
Yeah, you failed on that other one we got
I don't
that
think
you
so.
went to look at.
Well, you know what? I went to buy a 240, right?
Yeah, and then you sold it.
Well,
What is that? At
whoa,
least I
whoa,
bought
whoa,
one and I'm
slow
starting to
your
build it
roll. I did
completely on
not
my
sell
own.
it. I
Wait, you
made a
actually bought
video
that
that
car?
said,
No.
should I buy a 240? I had a purchase agreement for $2,500, and then people were like, I'd give you $3,500, and there was a local guy that said he'd give $3,000 for it. So instead of me buying it and then selling it for $3,000, I said, look, you're willing to pay more than me. Here's the owner. Reach out to him and square up with him. So then he paid more for the car than I was paying for the car. And I'd rather, like, you know, if you want it so much, I don't really care. I wasn't in love with the car, but I just got the guy who was selling it more money.
What was wrong with the car?
Nothing. It had
Nothing.
working AC.
Mint. It's a mint
For
car.
a 240.
It wasn't bad. But anyway, Tommy has my Supra, and he took it out. We were going to bring it down to Pocono, and there's like let's say a low-end misfire that it's prominent, but once you get past it, it goes away. It clears up. So he thinks it's a map sensor or something like that. And
Someday that car will go more than 5 miles an hour.
well, Tommy took it
I just-
out and
Did he
scared
ever
the
mess
shit
with the
out of
plug
himself.
gapping? Because I did.
He checked he checked the plug gapping.
I don't remember. I gapped them when I put them in last year.
He took the Supra out, and it's actually funny in this video. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take it out, and he, like, you could tell he knew it was fast, but didn't realize what fast really was. And like, you see him like jerk the wheel to the side when he steps on the gas for like 2 seconds, and he's like, oh, holy shit. Like, it's like clearly the fastest thing he's ever been in his life. But I mean, even at partial throttle, as soon as he hits boost, I mean, you're talking 32 pounds of boost on C16. So once you get past that, like, idle RPM range,
Fast car.
you're talking like fast car. I mean, you're talking that's a 145, 150 mile an hour quarter mile car. So
That's like a low 9 car.
yeah,
low 9
it's
seconds.
well, if you can hook, but like, it's a low 9-second Corvette with that trap speed. But if you get out there and you get into a car like that, and even on his R comps that he had on the car, he just wasn't expecting it. And I'm like, oh shit, like, that car got a little squirrely on him. But that was the only clip I saw.
Calls him up. Rob, I crashed your Supra.
I imagine that. Like,
That's a
Oh,
Jimbo thing to
but like watching the video, I'm like, welcome to fast cars. Like, you can't just do that. The problem, that's one of the problems with the Supra, though, is that why you need to keep adding more tire, because it'll just spike the car to red line. And all you're doing is lighting up the tires, which, yeah, great, make some strips on the highway and everything like that, but it doesn't get you down the road. And it's not like you can really partial throttle it when you get in the boost. I mean, because you're going like no boost to 30 some odd pounds, and like, even the guys that I was racing at Pocono were running 40 pounds, which is what my car is set up for. But I don't want to run 40 pounds because I don't want to break the fucking thing.
Because it's like all stock, isn't it?
No, it's a built motor.
I thought it was.
No,
Side.
Crower pistons and rods.
So
like,
why you
it's-
run it? What the hell?
'Cause-
Turn that boost up. Let's go.
Because, like, you know what? I
Bob's
mean,
afraid
I've
of
got
it.
what, like 1050 or 1100 horsepower at the engine, and I'm like, you know what? At 32 pounds, if the engine was the math was like, if the engine is built for 40, let's run 32. That's 20% away from the limit, so to speak. And this was the engine I built after I cracked, or whatever I did. I spun a bearing on the previous motor that was already built when I got it.
Yep.
And when you spend several years building a car, and then within the first couple of hundred miles you break the motor, you're not
I
like,
wanna
let's
talk about
push the
that.
envelope.
Yeah.
You're like, just make something that's like reliable, that's fast and reliable, so I don't have to think about it. And that's essentially what we did with the Supra. That's why it's running 32 pounds instead of 40.
I've had 2 machine shop mishaps with both my motors in the last 2 years.
Well, I also had a spare motor. What was the machine shop mishap? Jimbo, you have the wire in front of you. The
It's on
wire
screen
from
now.
that.
No, don't worry about it. I'm good.
No, it's not blocking.
No, you're fine. I did
The
that. Now we just lost the battery for that. The handy cam just went dead.
I saw
Even
the
though it
one.
was plugged in, it couldn't charge. It couldn't take the charge in. So I just made that camera now face both of you.
well, not 2 machine shop failures. I'd say the first one was definitely because the way they cut the crank. They cut the crank, but they never like treated it back, hardened it.
Yeah.
So that was why, because it failed like almost immediately. And then the second one, thinking the oil pump failed, and I have no guarantee of that, but my head was damaged and a whole bunch of stuff was damaged from the last failure. So now I'm on round 3 and I got a whole nother block because I said this thing
gets
sucks.
expensive.
Yep, I'm starting over again. So hopefully it'll be good.
Well, my shortest failure was the Lambo engine that we bought that lasted for less than 5 or 6 seconds. We started it up and it seized against itself. And it was
Why did you have a motor that seized?
It was a $30,000
story.
motor. I think I made a YouTube video on it.
I've never saw it.
We bought a rebuilt motor, and inside of we cleaned it up. We put the new motor in the car. We started it up, and inside of like 5 seconds, it just locked up. And when we took it apart, the piston dug into the cylinder wall, because I guess the engine's been sitting around forever and it hadn't been treated. So I mean, it was like just one of those things. It's just like that's $30,000 down the drain, and it's been a headache ever since. But we ended up eating it as a company, and as a company, you're like, all right, fuck it. There's another $30,000 loss.
Da-da-da.
Yeah,
It sucks.
Yep, stuff happens, especially in the car world and anything.
That's why I'm selling my quote-unquote project car.
Jimbo doesn't have a project car, but he has a modified car, and a modified car that
It was
is
a
owned by
project
Jimbo.
car. The person who owned it before me, it was his project car. And then I bought it, and it was probably the worst decision I've ever made.
Wait, are we talking about the Mercedes?
Come on,
No,
that
no,
is
no,
not
talking
the
about
worst
the
decision
C5?
Jimbo's ever made.
Oh, your C5. I forgot about that thing.
No, it sucks.
Yeah, I know it does.
I hate it.
I told you that from the start.
I know you did.
Okay.
You tell me everything I buy sucks.
Well,
but-
you bought a
it's on good
totally
purpose.
modified car.
Which is stupid.
Well, no, I mean, in theory, it's not. It's
Yes.
not actually that bad. I mean, I'm at the time, the thought process was I'm making YouTube videos, so it's content, and that's exactly. It did provide content, and my subscribership liked it, or subscriber base liked it. It was much faster than my C4. It was fun to drive, not as much as the C4.
He says the C4 is more fun than the C5.
Yeah, I had more fun driving my C4. It's just I did. Just like you like the later
but-
model Mercedes, I like the older model.
Yeah, but
Mercedes. Everyone's different.
You ever drive something that's like a bag of dicks, and it's the most fun thing you ever drove?
No, but my C4
That's the
wasn't.
problem.
My C4
You
wasn't
drive
a
something
pilot.
that
So
sucks
you're
and have a fun
he's
time
saying
in
your
it.
C4 was a bag of dicks.
No, it was.
It looked like a bag of dicks also.
It did look
the
like a
wrap
bag of
was
dicks.
pretty
Like if
heinous.
there was a bag of dicks.
Oh, he
like,
finally
with wheels,
admits to it.
No,
it
like
was-
He loved that
it's
rap.
once again-
Don't let him lie to us.
No, like once again, it's something that at the time I was very happy with. I was very happy with it. I look back on it, wasn't exactly the smartest thing in the world to do. But once again, you live and learn. And when
It
I
was a
think back
heinous
to my
bag
car,
of dicks. With
You know
wheels.
that-
Sure, okay, but I really liked that car. It drove well. I enjoyed it. I saved for a
He's
while.
the
for
only
it.
guy that says like a C4 Corvette drove well.
There are other people that like C4s. You are just
Yeah,
not
it's
one
people
of
that
them,
can't
Rob.
afford C5s.
No,
Yeah.
now they can because C5s are fucking dirt cheap.
Yeah,
now.
but then they buy C5s
and
the
then they're like,
C4s
oh
get
shit, they're
crushed.
not that great. Dude, I hear from people when I had my C4 and I made videos only about my C4. I had people tell me all the time, "Oh my gosh, it's a great car, yada yada." And these are people that have owned C5s. They're just
Do
like,
you know how many people I've told their shit was good because I'm standing in front of them and I have to tell them their shit is good?
Rob, I don't care. I genuinely don't. I liked my C4. You
Yeah,
liked your
but
C5.
objectively, you can't say like
If you
my
were- if you were
Galaxy
asking-
S3 was better than my
if
Galaxy
you
S5.
were asking which car
It's getting feisty in here.
when you're asking which car is mechanically better than another one, the C5 is better in every single regard. Every single one in terms of
So
electronics, in terms of
it's
mechanics.
better as
Let
a car
me finish
than-
talking.
No,
for
I'm okay.
half
Go
a
ahead.
fucking second.
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ!
Look, you have every right to be
Stop.
wrong. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Shut up. You can
Tell
have your
everyone-
own
go ahead.
opinion. Okay. C5 is
You
a
guys are
better
more
car.
sassy than
mechanically.
me.
This is us every fucking day.
Oh God, you're
Yeah,
more
why is he
sassy
so
than
angry,
me.
right? Yeah, totally angry.
It's every day.
Oh.
You'd think that he'd be in a better mood.
No, he just
Wake
doesn't
up
like
with a
it.
smile.
He
First
does.
of all, just think about it.
Would
He
you wake
doesn't
up and
like-
smile if you own a
Wait,
C4
wait.
for like
Can we
quarter
go
of your
over
life?
something really quickly?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Here,
pay
just
attention
listen to
to
me.
this.
Listen to me. I love Corvettes. I love them. Like, I want one. At the end of the day, how old were you when you got your first Corvette?
18.
I couldn't afford one when I was 18.
I know, but that's because I worked
No,
2 years.
listen
Wait,
to me.
wait,
in
wait,
high school for
wait,
it.
wait,
Listen to me.
wait, wait, wait.
Listen
Can
to
we
me.
wait? Stop.
You're getting super, super, super defensive. And
Yes,
you're
because
fighting
everyone
him.
thinks my dad bought me the fucking car.
It's a
Everybody.
C5.
Nobody
You can buy
thought
those on
your
Craigslist
nobody
for
thought
like
your dad bought you a
$2,500
C4.
right
It doesn't
now.
matter
No,
what people
C4.
think.
C4,
If they
I mean.
think your dad bought it, if they think your mom bought it, if they thought your
Nope,
grandma
nobody
bought it.
nobody
It doesn't
questioned that you didn't
matter.
buy your own C4.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nice car. Like that C4, if you're looking at C4s that are worth $5,000, they all have like 130,000 miles.
But that's my point. Nobody
my car
knows.
has 60,000 miles on it. I don't think the guy who owned it before me ever had done a burnout.
Who cares?
Like, the car was fucking mint, and then I got it.
Yeah, but
Still
then,
sucks.
but the
No,
thing is that
it
people
doesn't.
see a
To you, it does. I
C4
like it.
and they're not saying like, boy, I bet that guy got the cleanest C4 out there.
I don't give a fuck what other people are saying. I bought it because I
But
wanted it. I
but
didn't buy it 'cause
you're
the rest
saying
of the world
you're saying the
wanted it.
world thought like how could this
Thought
young
so
kid
highly of
possibly
his
have a
C4.
fucking C4?
Well, no, because that's the comment I got. The first time I ever got a ticket, the cop assumed that my dad owned the car, and when I told her no, it was mine, because she asked me, and she was like, "Oh, like she felt a little bit bad. She didn't give me a ticket." And
She
It's
definitely
okay.
did
I was
not play that.
parasliding in a front-wheel
That's
drive
awesome.
car,
Yeah, way without getting
and the
it.
cops
I did a
came.
burnout out of Virginia.
She felt bad because you were driving a C4.
Rob, get over yourself.
Yeah, it's
It's
like-
really hard. I know it's really difficult for you, but for more than 20 seconds,
He's just jealous. You
get
got a
over
Corvette
yourself.
before he got a Corvette.
That might be.
No,
part of
I
it.
had a Corvette when he was 4.
No, like your age. You were how old when you got your first
I
Corvette?
was
21, 22?
20.
Yeah, well, I was 18.
We also bought a brand new
Yeah, but
Corvette.
I also bought a brand new Corvette.
Not
I know.
a
And
two.
you bought a
Still
brand new
can't
pile of
afford
shit. Is what you
one.
did.
No, the C5 is like you got a guy
Dude,
now
your
saying
entire
like
center console is from a fucking minivan. Like the
Yo,
whole
speaking-
fucking center
speaking
console.
Speaking of Corvettes.
It is
When-
like it's
when-
the or not
when
even the
you taking
minivan.
me
Let's
on a
let's
ride?
take your GMC Sierra. Your entire center console is the exact same thing as the GMC Sierra. The fucking thing to unlock the car, the thumb control.
what? I'm
Oh, what
listening
did
to
she-
you.
What did you
I'm
say?
actually not even. I didn't even know Jimbo was still here. What were you saying?
You're such a,
So when's
you
that
can't
ride
get over
coming up?
yourself.
What? I owe Anna.
Oh, don't act like you don't know.
What I just said. I owe Anna a ride in my Corvette, so she's
How
gonna.
long have I been asking?
I don't know, for like 2 years. So she's gonna have to come down to Texas because that's where my car is.
It's not that great. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I've wanted to go on
Jimbo
a
It actually
is,
feels
wanted-
quite slow.
flaming
but I
vagina.
wanted to go on a
Jimbo's
ride
the guy who
since
gets
it's
in my
been-
Corvette and
since
says
I
it
saw
feels slow.
It does feel slow because you have really, really long gears. So when you accelerate, it takes fucking forever to get into boost, and you never get into
Because
boost.
you're
so
supposed
like you
to.
never
What are
feel
you
how fast it
doing?
is.
That's what the turbo.
My-
You're
my
supposed to,
Corvette
like, get
in
up
the
to
half
boost, and then you're
mile
supposed
was
to hold
like
it in boost.
He's a
3
cheater.
miles an hour away from Lou Gelati's Corvette
Rob.
without the wing, and it's a 2017 modified 730 wheel
Rob.
horsepower C7.
Rob, do you know how to hold it into boost?
Do I know how to hold it in the boost? You step on the gas. Are you talking
Keep it
about
in
brake
boost.
boosting?
No,
No,
Rob
the
is just
turbo.
a no. Rob is
You
just
don't
a
have
bitch.
to.
He
You don't.
never
You don't have
ho-
to
he
get it
never
in the boost.
accelerates.
It's a V8. The thing.
You
The
have a
shit
turbo,
gets.
though.
Yeah, but the shit gets in the boost at like 3,500.
You got to keep it above a certain RPM to keep it in boost.
3,500. It stalls below that.
Okay, so keep it in
No,
boost.
it doesn't. You have a light camera.
He's
No, I know.
telling me it's
No,
slow
my
until
car would
boost.
stall.
Do you keep it in boost?
he says it's slow.
Do you keep
he's,
it in boost?
He's being
This is a very
he's
simple
being a
question.
dramatic.
This is
When
a
Rob
very
is driving
simple
the car
question.
aggressively, yes, he keeps the car in
But
boost.
he never does.
Well, he does at the track. I
No.
can hear it.
Yeah, you hear it, but it doesn't feel fast. He drives.
Jimbo's
You went
saying
through
it doesn't
three.
feel fast.
You went through 3 gears in Texas, and I have a video of it. And it doesn't
I
feel
have a video
fast.
of it. Hold on. Here's Jimbo telling me the car's not fast.
It's not me out though, right?
I'm taking you out. Yes.
I've
Well, the
floated
car's
the
not
car,
even
and I think
here.
it actually moves. So, but you're
Okay.
just used to you think of turbos and cars, and you just think nothing, then power.
No,
But
I don't. I've never even been in a car that does that.
the
I've
pro-
just. I've
it's-
He
been-
said his C5 with 400 wheel horsepower feels faster than mine, which is 400 pounds lighter.
Yeah, because I
and-
had 390 gears in it. The thing, whenever you accelerate, the whole fucking nose would lift up. It felt great.
Yeah, it's great, but like I could put 410 gears in the car and feel like I'm going really fast up to 70 miles an hour, and then I'm at red line in 6th.
Yeah, but well, you wouldn't get to. You would hit like 140 if you had 410 gears. But like, I mean, you have your car set up for something completely different. I like accelerate because the thing is, I got my C5. I got in trouble so much with that car. I got 7 tickets in 1 month, 5 tickets in 1 month.
yeah, Rob's car obviously
It
the
only was
gearing-
fast at like 100. It only felt fast at 120.
Rob's car is set up for the track
Correct. So
Which
it
is over a
feels
certain-
slow on the street.
on acceleration because
Yes.
after like second gear, because the gears are long.
Doesn't
But once
take
the car's moving, it creates downforce, which is able to hold its momentum higher up. So then everything moves on the track.
I don't doubt that it probably feels great on a track. It's just I like my C4.
I'm over this argument.
I
C4
can't
sucks.
argue with Jimbo because Jimbo's always wrong. So like it's just like
No, it's
I'm kind of upset the guy
Yeah,
in
you
your
know
video
what?
is using
Jimbo
a face
and
shield,
I,
by the way.
Jimbo and
Go
I
fuck
argue, and it's like something where he says something wrong, and then I like explain to him while he's right, and then I like slowly see
Rob,
him
I just
recognize
said
it, and
your
I like,
car
feel
is a-
really bad.
Rob, your C5, the C5 is a better car. I enjoy driving my C4 more.
Whatever, we get it. Jimbo likes the C4.
Yes, I do. So go fuck off. I'm tired of arguing about it.
I wish I could.
I the same fucking argument. I can't bring up a C4 without people saying, "Oh, it's a fucking pile of shit." It's not.
C4 is a pile of
Jimbo's
shit.
Go fuck off.
Jimbo's running away. Just
Does
so you
not
know.
have any problem
Jimbo-
getting in the boost.
Oh, nope.
No, not getting into boost. You getting in it.
This is my Corvette not getting in the boost.
No, you can hear it.
Yeah, it's like there's plenty of power.
Hey Rob, you know what the nice thing about my C4 was though? It could go around that track as many times as it would want, and would also drive home.
Yeah, so does my
Your-
Chevy
no,
Volt.
No, your car,
Congratulations.
your C5, what it does
Here you
is
go,
it'll
ready?
go
Here
around
comes the
twice,
straightaway.
and then it catches on fire. That's what your car does. My car doesn't do that.
That's
that's
third.
good.
That's fourth.
It feels
That
slow.
sounds
Trust
good.
me, it feels slow. It does feel
This
slow.
is
It
fifth.
probably is faster
Fifth.
than
You
my
know, you
car.
shift out of fourth at 155. So
If
he's
you're
doing
used to-
160 plus down the back straight into turn 17 at Sebring right
It
now.
feels slow.
I thought that wasn't you driving. I was like,
This is Justin.
yeah, because that line he took, I was like, wait, that's the racer line. That's not a Rob Ferretti line.
Yeah.
Jimbo, have you ever like gone road racing?
Yes, I
I
did it with my
believe
C4. It was a fucking blast. I loved it.
Where'd you go? Autocrossing?
No, it was at in Arizona at a country club. Indy
I'll take you for a
Motorsports.
ride when it comes back.
There's a racetrack at Indy Motorsports Ranch. It's very fun.
The car's not here. It's in Texas. The
Car was
car
in
went to
Texas.
Texas.
Oh yeah, you have the same birthday as me. I forget about that.
Oh, so
Da, da, da.
unfortunate.
You know what's cool? Like there's 400 million people in the world and only 365 days, so you're not special on your birthday because there's like 100 million people that have the same fucking birthday, which is why Hallmark exists. Because
okay.
every single day, every Hallmark store in the world is catering to 100 million birthdays.
You know, at the end of the day, I don't really care.
You shouldn't. But everyone's like, celebrate my birthday, celebrate my birthday. I'm going to take you for a ride not because of your birthday.
Rob, are you upset that you're old? Is this like somehow you disputing this?
I thought you went off subject. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like...
No, like you're bitching about like birthdays aren't fucking special. They're not great. It's because
it's
you wish that they were special for you
he's,
again.
He's bringing it up because I've been bitching at him for 2 years to take me on a ride.
You should just call him every
and
day,
he
like I
hasn't.
do. Just call him every
No, it's
single day.
because right in the
I'm
beginning.
gonna mark you as
no,
spam.
No. In the beginning,
Anyways.
the car
Yeah,
was
good
like
luck getting
having
your uploads,
problems.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, in the beginning, the car was having problems, and it just wasn't.
It just
prime
we
state to
were
take
lazy.
out.
It's not that it had like even the starting
no, you told
problem.
me it had problems.
What?
The Corvette.
I just didn't want to take you for a ride. Sorry, truth has to come out eventually. Blame him.
We should probably wrap this. We're at like an hour and 17 minutes.
Cool. All right. Anything else? What did I want to talk about? Oh no, that'll go on for a while. We're gonna have to save that for next week.
No, we got Feisty talking about C4s and C5s.
Yeah. So
Ruined the whole show. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, we don't want to hear this shit anymore.
So if you want to keep an eye on
that's when they
on
click
Jeff, NJ Jeffers, Jefferz on Instagram. If you need a roll cage done in your car, or what else? Just roll. He's primarily a roll cage guy. He's a fabricator. He bends steel and makes your shit safe, and that's important. So you don't go the way of the weird car guy in Virginia who killed himself in his little cart. You want a proper roll cage. Safety equipment is the most important, yet also one of the most overlooked things in motorsports, especially amateur motorsports. So if you're in the Northeast, anywhere from Ohio to North Carolina up to Maine, give Jeff Marlow a ring, and he will make sure your shit is safe and looking good. And if nothing more, your car just looks like a race car. And that's half the battle right there.
Bonus points at car shows.
Yeah, bonus points at car shows to
Even if it's completely
to have
stock.
to climb in and out of a roll cage car, even if it's like bone stock with a couple of portholes from
Just as long as it
AutoZone.
looks good. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
you want it to look good. Anna Shanks, if you guys want wedding dresses made, I know that's a cool thing.
Bridal on bridesmaids.
Bridal stuff. Or if you want to learn how to drift, she'll know how to do it in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
She'll show you what's up. She doesn't have an Instagram, car Instagram?
Yep. It's AGS Drifter.
AGS Drifter. That's AGS as in Anna Gisela Shanks.
Yes.
And as long as you're not Jewish, you would enjoy that channel because her grandfather was a Nazi. We'll just throw it out there because we can't let that one slide. But anyway, yes, as long as you you want to watch girls drift and learn how to drift and watch the process, check out her Instagram and you can follow along in that. If you want to watch C4s and things not to do with your car, check out Jimbo's channel. He's also the guy who spearheaded this podcast. He's the one who made sure the screens changed from screen 1 to screen 2.
And the battery died in one of the cameras.
As I wasn't going to bring up, I was going to focus on the highlights.
Since when do you do that, Rob?
Well, until you cut me off, I was doing that.
It's very rare.
But Jimbo, he's the guy in charge. He's the guy who cuts and edits and makes the Super Speeders channel look pretty good. So thank you guys for watching. You know how to get in touch with me. Thank the sponsors. E-Auto Warranty, definitely a big shout out to them. Check them out. Thank you for watching the podcast. If you are listening to the podcast on iTunes or Shout Engine, you can also catch these on the Super Speeders podcast channel on YouTube.
Don't forget Sheath, my friend.
And vice versa. I didn't get there. I'm not done talking. I didn't even take a breath yet. I was doing that all in one breath.
You missed it, Rob.
And if you want your nuts to be protected, as I said earlier, get your pair of Sheath underwear. You can put your balls and your shaft right into that comfy pocket, and you will be enjoying life a lot more. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you next time.